G'day all, it's Colin from PCTLC and thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be having a look at fixing screen tearing in Peppermint 9. Now in the past I've used Compton, so there's a couple of things I want to have a look at in Peppermint 9. So now what I want to do is get back to the screen tearing, and we're going to go to Peppermint settings panel. And I'm going to go to System and Start Up and Default Applications. Now, this is important to have a look in here. Auto Start. Now, I'm up to date. Everything's up to date. You can see the green tick down there. Now, if you look in here, there is no Compton Auto Start. Now, at the moment, if we have a look in Synaptic, and this is important that we have a look at all this stuff because this is the little bit of research I've done with Peppermint 9. Now I'm not sure if this was the same in Peppermint 8, I can't remember. I know 7 definitely you had to add Compton manually, but if we do a search for Compton, you can see that Compton's installed. Now, I don't know when they started installing that by default. I don't know if that was like that in Peppermint 8 or not. So Compton's installed. So now what I used to do in the past, you go to Auto Start and I would go Compton space -B, and that would start up Compton in the background. But and I did this. This is the 4th time I've installed this on this computer here. I was using this computer as an example, and so I'm not going to do that, but there's no Compton Auto Start there, as you can plainly see. Nothing at all. So the other important thing is, if we go to hardware, I think it is, no actually it's not. It's tweaks, no. Let me figure out where we are. Let's just start that again. I've lost my way. Peppermint user, Peppermint Control Center and Desktop Effects. Now the desktop effects are on, which is nothing unusual for XFCE, I think /OpenBox. I think this is XFCE anyway. So there's nothing unusual there. Synchronized drawing to the vertical blank is supposed to combat issues with screen tearing, but I find that rarely does that work. So that's that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to have another look at this one again, just to be sure. Auto Start, there is nothing in there for Compton whatsoever. So now I thought I was going a bit crazy because I did on the first install, I put Compton-B, and then I realized there was a Compton Auto Start in there, and I didn't know how it got there. So that had me very intrigued as to how it got there, and I did another install and I thought, did I fluke it or what? And then I did another install and realized I think I realized what was going on. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to User and Peppermint Control Center, Desktop Effects, and we're going to turn that off. So the desktop effects are off. So that's the first thing we're going to do. Now what I'm going to do here is, I could log out and log back in, but I want to restart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this video, I'm going to restart, and then we're going to have a look at the auto start. So I'll be back. Okay, so we've restarted. Now we're going to go back to the Peppermint. Peppermint works too fast. I can't keep up with it. So we're back into here. We go to System and Startup and Default Applications Auto Start. Now there we go. Now Compton has automatically started itself in the auto start here without me interfering with it whatsoever. So all you got to do is turn off the desktop effects and the Compton auto start is running. Now I don't know if you can see that, and I don't think you can in when you're watching it on YouTube, but there's definitely still screen tearing there. So that's the first part that we do. So it's important that first of all you must turn off your desktop effects. Now I have some folders or files, sorry. So let me find my files. They're on my network folder or my network partition there. Let's have a look. Don't know why I've got so many folders named the same thing. So Compton for screen tearing, that's copy that to documents. And we go to documents and it's there. So now I've got this one with, I don't know if anyone remembers Don't Call Me Lenny. He had a few going on there, and then I got a few from the internet as well. So he's got one here with the VirtualBox fix. Now I can't remember what that was regarding, but there's some original ones here. There's a Don't Call Me Lenny one there, and this one worked with Peppermint 7, and I've been trying that one and it's working as well. So what I'm going to do here is we copy that to Home, Show Hidden Files, .config, and we copy it here and paste compton.conf. Now I've still got screen tearing, but I need to also log out and log back in, or restart, reboot, whichever one works. So let's just have a quick, I shouldn't have closed that. Let's just have a quick look at that file, compton.conf. Now it's got a whole heap of stuff here, so you don't really have to be too much into it to know what it does. But the one thing that you need to do is change this to false. But I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to log out or restart. I'm going to reboot, and then we'll have a look at that. Right, so we've rebooted the system, and let's have a quick look at this. Now, as you can see, if you have a look at that window, there is a big sort of clear frame around the outside of this window, this context box. So that is an issue with the Compton itself, and the settings within it. So so if you have a look at that, you can see the clear window. So what we're going to do, and that's the reason why we're going to make a bit of a change to that file. So we go to .config and compton.conf. Now this one here, shadow, enable client-side shadows on Windows, we're going to change that to false. Now I'm sure I'm doing everything right here because it does change. I don't know if it affects anything else, but it seems to run okay like that. And I can see that there's really no screen tearing here. It's nice and smooth, so that's pretty good. So that's nice and smooth. So now if we have a look, now I need to once again I need to log out and log back in. In this case, it's just a simple log out and log back in, so I'm going to do that. So I've logged out and logged back in, and we have, let's have a look. Right click that, and you can see that there's a shadow there, but you don't have that clear frame. So that's sorted that out, and I don't have any screen tearing. So just to have a look at that, I'll open up Firefox. And I'm pretty sure that anyone who looks at this on YouTube won't see the difference anyway, but there is smooth as, no screen tearing whatsoever, and it looks really good. So I'm pretty happy with that. And the best way to tell with your screen tearing anyway is when you move this box around, you will get some serrated edges, really sharp, jittery edges along your box, your whatever window you got open, but this one's nice and smooth, so that all falls apart along the edges. That's a telltale sign. So that all seems to be working now. That's the way that I know. I will put a what I'll do is with this compton.conf, I will copy and paste this on the show notes. That way you don't have to update this or change it, because it'll be correct anyway. So when if you was to do this yourself, if we just go into a particular folder, or we can just do it in here. If we create a new document and called it compton.conf, but you would do that under the .config folder, create that one there, and then you would just copy and paste you would just copy all this from my show notes, copy, and open up your compton.conf under your .config file. Let's go back one, and you would just paste and save. That's what you would do, and you'd be doing that. You would go in .config, you would create new empty document, call it that, copy and paste everything in there, which is what I just did there. But let's get rid of that, because I don't want to get them confused. Now that's all working well. Now that's the way I've always known how to do it. I hope that's the correct way. I'm sure the Peppermint developers, if they're watching, if there's a better way, please let me know, and I can remake another video. But I'm just showing you the way that I know, so hopefully that is on the right track anyway, and hopefully that helps somebody who's struggling with screen tearing in Peppermint, because XFCE has always been an issue with screen tearing, and probably OpenBox as well, although I don't use OpenBox much. I'd have to assume it is a problem. So that's that little fix there, so I hope that helps somebody, and hope you enjoyed the video, hope you found it very informative, and thanks for watching. So we've got Peppermint 9 running in VirtualBox here. So what we're going to look at here, first of all, let me full screen that. So I don't know why it's not going completely full screen. So here, what we've got here, let's go to settings, and I want to show you in the settings. Now this is behaving a little bit funny. Now this is what happens. Now what's happened is I've put the compton.conf -b, compton-b in the settings. Now I I don't know if I can get the settings. Oh yeah, here we go. So no, we didn't want that one. So you can see that now Peppermint is behaving very unusually. So what I'm going to do in the host system, I'm going to show you what I've done in the VirtualBox. So what I've done, because I can't quite get it up in VirtualBox, in the startup and default applications, I actually added the compton-b and added that in now, and I'm not going to do that though. And the other thing I did not do is I did not turn off my desktop effects. So they're the two things that you shouldn't do, which I have done. And now if you have a look in the VirtualBox, things aren't quite working the way we would want them. So what you can do there is you need to hold Control Alt and F2. And what that will do is that will bring you down to a TTY, and we need to log back in. So your username and your password, the same as logging in when you first start up your computer. So now we're logged in, and it's all going to be under terminal. So what we need to do is change directory, home, press the tab key, colon, tab again, and .config, tab again, so that's .config. And then if we press ls for list, we will see in that list we've got a compton.conf. Make sure you make a copy of your compton.conf file before you do anything. You can easily download it again from my video, but it's easier just to make a copy on your computer. So if we cp copy compton, press the tab key and copy to /home, colon, documents is with a capital D, documents, and enter. Now you really should have a copy in your documents, so let's have a quick look. There's my compton.conf file there, so that's been copied over. So if you don't get any output from the terminal, that means everything went okay. So normally once that's in there, that's what will generally be messing up your computer, because the Compton is going by that file. So what we need to do is type rm for remove, type compton, tab key, compton.conf, so we're going to remove that, press enter, ls for list again, and now you can see that compton.conf no longer resides under that .config folder. So what we're going to do now is we're going to sudo reboot and put your password. So let's reboot that. So let's have a quick look around, see if things are working. So now we've got things happening. So what we should have done is disabled that. And if we go to System and Startup, auto start, you can see that Compton auto start is there, so we really don't need this command. So that was just done on purpose, just to show you that things cannot, if they do not work right, that's the backup plan to get us out of trouble. And as you can see, everything appears to be working okay. So, and now what we need to do, we can put the that Compton file back in, because it should be working okay. It's just that we didn't do it correctly. Or if you've done it correctly and something's gone wrong, that'll just get you back out of trouble, and you can disable everything, which is you could disable your Compton from starting up here, and you could keep the compton.conf file deleted, which it is at the moment, and then you could probably just go back to your user and here and just put your desktop effects back in and go from there, if you're concerned about going any further. But that's a good backup plan anyway. So just make sure that you check the comments before doing this, because if the Peppermint developers have made comments on the video themselves, they might have some better information than what I've given you here, and that might be worth checking out before you do anything. So I show you the way that I know, but there's no better information than from the developers themselves. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you found this backup plan informative, just in case you need it, and thanks for watching.